Welcome to this Friday special interview on the Think Tanks podcast. At present, in terms of numbers, the state of politics in India is this. The BJP-led NDA is in power at the center with 353 seats. At the state level, there are many states that are ruled by opposition-led alliances. What's become very common of late is the trend of post-poll alliances where parties come together based on electoral numbers. And a lot of this is as a result of the dominance of the BJP. Now, the most recent case of a post-poll alliance was in Bihar. But before that, there was the case in the state of Maharashtra as well. As we approach the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, there are some very interesting developments taking shape in terms of political alliances in India. This is Karan Dev, and joining me today to share his views on some of the recent news is political analyst PKD Nambiar. Mr. Nambiar is a prominent face on a lot of national debates on television and is also an entrepreneur in addition to being a political analyst. Mr. Nambiar is Managing Director and CEO of Flags Communications and is chairman of the B Square group of companies. Mr. Nambiar, thank you so much for taking the time out to join me here on Swell. As you can tell, this is a very unique format, and I'm going to follow this introduction up with 3 quick questions. My first question, Mr. Nambiar, is with regard to what's happening in Bihar. Now, everyone's been talking about the coming together of Tejasvi Yadav's RJD and Nitish Kumar's JDU. This is a very interesting new development because no one would have seen this coming a few weeks ago. And while a lot of people said that all is not well with Nitish Kumar's JDU and the BJP's alliance, there seems to be a lot being said in terms of accusations and counter-accusations between Nitish Kumar and the BJP. I was wondering what you thought of this whole development and if you could help us make sense of this current coalition. On a separate note, the formation of the government in Maharashtra, Mr. Nambiar, was another area which most observers saw as akin to Bihar. It was a post-poll alliance of a very different nature. And while you might not be able to compare the two states and the situations on the ground, in terms of ideology, Maharashtra initially had 3 seemingly disparate parties which decided to enter into an agreement and form the government. Although the matter is sub judice, what do you have to say to those who accuse the BJP of coercing MLAs and others to join their fold? And if we were to think of Maharashtra as a bellwether state, what do you make of the Eknath Shinde BJP-led government's prospect in the next state election? And in conclusion, I just wanted to ask you one final quick question. How do you see the 2024 Lok Sabha elections panning out? Do you see a possible challenge to the BJP, or do you think it's going to most likely be a repeat of the 2019 general elections? With that, I'd like to thank you for taking time out to join me on Swell, Mr. Nambiar. I'm really looking forward to hearing your take on the questions which I just asked. And I will post a conclusion after your responses, but I just wanted to thank you again.
Thank you, Karan, for having me on your show. Well, I think what happened in Bihar just a few days ago is very unfortunate. A government which was functioning in a fairly in a decent level. It was a natural alliance between the JDU and the BJP. There was not really much of a corruption charges or any other kind of a challenges was there amongst the coalition or as a government. But unfortunately, despite the 17 years of government, Nitish Kumar as a chief minister, one thing was very clear that the Bihar could not do as much as the rest of the other states have been able to do economically. So, for an example, in the last 5 years, UP has done much better as a state economically under Yogi, but Nitish Kumar and Bihar could not do that much. I believe that the brand image of Nitish Kumar has been coming down elections after election. He already had an image of that somebody who keep changing his alliances or the alliance partner. and he is not anymore a trustworthy and a politician. But this move of him, once again, moving away from the natural coalition of with BJP, has proved that he may be one of the most selfish politicians in the country, who may have changed partners the maximum in any part of the country so far. With this, there are two things. I would say that the loss for the average people of Bihar is that a government which was in continuance with the support of the central government may not be there anymore. So I think what Nitish Kumar did is that placing him before the mandate of the people, placing him before the alliance and the partnership which has been there for the last so many years, placing him as the only matter and his selfish interest of placing himself as a prime ministerial aspirant, maybe looking at that, yes, this may be one opportunity for him to go and place himself amongst the Mamata Banerjee, Rahul Gandhi, Arvind Kejriwal, K.C. Chandrasekhar Rao, some of these prime ministerial, proposed prime ministerial candidate for 2024. Being a part of BJP, he would not have been able to do that. I think this could be one of the only reason. There is no other reason which is in public. On the other side, if you really look at from the point of view of a BJP, it may be a blessing in disguise. It's a great opportunity for them. One, despite 77 seats and one of the largest political party in Bihar, they were not in the full command of the government. The command of the government was with Nitish Kumar. Most of the developmental plans what Narendra Modi or the BJP governments in other states were doing, that was not effectively being implemented in Bihar. Or other way, or otherwise, if you really look at it from it was always lying little low under the shadow of Nitish Kumar. It may be an opportunity for BJP to come out and be a very, very natural and a strong opposition party, and in the next election, with the great image of the Prime Minister, go door to door and come back to the power on its own. So I think the loss on a long run, this will be a loss for Nitish Kumar. On a short-term gain, this may really help him to be a little bit more visible. But we all need to see that Nitish Kumar's popularity, brand image over the years have been coming down. He is one of the weakest chief minister today, with only just a little over 40 seats. And his the other counterpart, the new counterpart, the RJD, is already about close to 80 seats. So there is no match. I think the Jungle Raj, which once upon a time the Bihar was known for, this is a fear amongst all the people on the political pundits and the average Biharis that the Jungle Raj may come back. And if this happens, or the corruption in the Jungle Raj and the lawlessness, if it happens, Nitish Kumar will be the sole responsible for that, and which I think the people of Bihar will not pardon him. So it's a bad move politically. Karan, from the point of view of Maharashtra politics took a complete turn. That it was a natural alliance between BJP and Shiv Sena. They came back to the power. When the decision to go solo or with an Agadi alliance was purely against the family values of the Bal Thackeray family. But unfortunately, Uddhav Thackeray took a complete different decision altogether. One, to become a chief minister. Secondly, to go against the natural alliance or the public its decision to have a combined government. So it was overall a lot of uneasiness, not only at the public at the large, but the Shiv Sainiks and the cadre of Shiv Sena was very, very upset with that move. I don't know, many may be remembering that the great Bala Sahib once said that the Congress is like cancer. So if a but Uddhav took a decision to go and align with Congress. Uddhav took a decision to go and align with their natural enemy, in a way, a political enemy, that is NCP. So it was more of like a kiosk kind of a government. I have always been telling that, yes, this government could survive because of the last 2 years of the pandemic, and of course we all know that Maharashtra was one of the most affected. This government of the Agadi government could not have lasted more than 6 months unless the COVID was not there. So I think the people and the cadre, it was not any other political party's interference. Because of that, it all had happened. This government has gone now. Primarily, the reason is that within the cadre, the Uddhav Thackeray as a leader, as a chief minister and the supremo of the Shiv Sena was not in control of his party and his MLAs. So I think he lost the ground, he lost the connection between his people, or rather the party and the government was working more of like in a separate boards. So that is where this whole crisis happened. Now, even today, if you really look at it, the BJP and the Shiv Sena is in power now. So that means, the natural alliance which was being given the mandate initially is the one which is now ruling the state. It may be too early to say that who will this combination will come back. If they do deliver elections in India, the last 1 year, the final 1 year will decide the fate of the governments. If they have been able to do well with Devendra Fadnavis, which was considered to be one of the very fine prime minister, as the deputy chief minister, Eknath Shinde, also a grassroots leader, I'm sure that they may be able to perform well. But unless if they don't really perform extremely well, and then of course they will have to bear the consequences, because the people today wanted to have governments which can really give them every kind of comfort, whether it is from the point of view of governance, giving them jobs, price rise, or even from the point of view of their self-respect. So at times, if governments which are in power, they get carried away with their, once they are in power, they forget what they have been committed. But with Devendra Fadnavis and the BJP take the state, Maharashtra is a very, very important state for the whole of the country. Mumbai is the financial capital of the world, of India. So with that, I'm sure that this government will perform well. And if they perform well, the whole takeaway will be that this is going to be a lead for the Indian politics. The dynasty politics may slowly get over. I always say that the Maharashtra episode is going to be awakening call for all the dynasty politicians and politics in India, whether it is in Tamil Nadu or in Telangana or even in the Congress and many other parties. Eventually, people are looking for leaders who can perform. Karan, well, yesterday it's a very wonderful question. The reason being that everybody is now started talking about 2024 and who will be our next Prime Minister. Yesterday on a television show, and there was a discussion on the Mood of the Nation survey. And the Mood of the Nation survey very clearly says that, yes, the Prime Minister Modi is going to come back once again and with the thumping majority. What is happening in the country is that Mr. Narendra Modi and his style of governance have becoming slowly a role model, and many states are also copying that. On the other side, a divided opposition wherein regionalism, hyper-regionalism is playing. So when it comes to people of today's India do understand the difference between a prime minister and a chief minister. They know that maybe even if they take a decision to go to a regional party for a state election, but when it comes to national interest, they know that there is no other better leader, at least as on today, to take on to the mighty Narendra Modi or his stature. Narendra Modi has, over the last 8 years, have not just become a Prime Minister of India, but he had become really a statesman and a world leader. His popularity is not just limited to India, or not only just to the states where the BJP is ruling, but across every part of India. Maybe one of the most visible, charismatic leader India had ever seen. And please don't compare with other leaders, because the leaderships are always on the different times. And today's timing, like it's the communication, the visibility, this era of social media, wherein a leader needs to be visible and communicative. And he is one of the example across the world, one who communicates and visible every day. You can't miss him. Like, as I say sometimes, that he's like more of like a medicine. In the morning he is available, in the afternoon you can see him, in the evening before you go to bed you will see him somewhere or the other way. So such kind of a popularity, and without even having any straight opposition, or a leader who could be a potential threat for his leadership. I don't see that is happening in the anywhere soon. On the other side, a couple of months ago, I have written an article saying who will bell the cat. So we all know who is the cat, but there is no absolute leader who could be a potential challenger to Narendra Modi at the national level. At the regional level, of course, Mamta might have her popularity. Arvind Kejriwal would have been having his own popularity. KCR may be a popular figure in Telangana, or M.K. Stalin would be in Tamil Nadu. So on many other leaders on the regional level. But at the national level, there is no strong opposition and zero corruption charges. With that kind of path-breaking reforms, I don't see any challenge for Narendra Modi. Well, if at all, if there is all the oppositions will come together, that is as a united opposition, which has never been a reality in an Indian context. Or even if they have tried to do so, it was always been a failure. It never lasted for more than a couple of the life of such coalition was never more than 6 months. In the last, when it comes to the presidential election or the vice presidential election, it has completely proved that these oppositions are still divided. It is difficult for them to even come together. If in such kind of a scenario, with the amount of popularity what Mr. Modi is still holding on, whether it is from the point of view of leadership quality, whether it is point of view of his communication, whether it is also from his overall popularity, he is way ahead even for the 2024. I think opposition should be now looking for maybe in 2029, that may be the ideal target, a practical target for the opposition, according to me.
So, Mr. Nambiar, thank you so much for that insightful conversation. I think there are many events that are likely to happen in the run-up to the 2024 general elections. And as they say, there are no permanent friends and enemies in politics. And I think Bihar is the biggest embodiment of that principle. I really hope to host you back here on the Think Tanks Wellcast and get your point of view and your thoughts on a lot of important questions that are probably going to come up in the near future. Thank you again and have a wonderful day.